Today we're going to be talking about how to use your VA housing benefit to build wealth. I know, I've always stayed away from that title because I think it's so cheesy, and there's so many people that say that in a con man way, but I'm not. This is literally me sitting back, watching what other veterans have done for the last few years and really paying attention so I can share that information with you. So first of all, if you're unfamiliar with this channel, I am licensed in 48 states as a mortgage lender. I've been the top female VA lender in America for the last 2 years. I am hoping this is the year that I can just say #1 overall in everything, okay? And I'm not saying that to be braggy. I'm saying that to go, guys, I see a lot of VA loans, like this isn't some, rookie trying to BS you and sell you a bill of goods. So let's talk about what I see and what I would suggest. Now, first of all, a VA home loan, let's cover some of the really quick basics. 0% down. You do still have closing costs when you're buying a house. However, in many cases, we can get the seller to help you with closing costs. And if you're like, my real estate agent says just call me, let's talk about the market you're in, like let's put together a game plan, because a lot of times real estate agents say, you can't do that, without understanding what they're saying no to, okay? We don't deal with negative Nellies. So that's the first thing you guys need to know. 0% down, let's get the seller to pay your closing costs, okay? That's usually the goal, even if you have money, because with this strategy, you really wanna put as little as you can into these houses because ultimately they're investments, okay? Now, you need to live in the house for at least a year. Very important. So if, for instance, let's say you're on a base right now and you've got orders to go somewhere in a month and you already know you're going, do not buy a house in that location right now. Let's go to the next place you're gonna be at, okay? Now, if you buy a house, for instance, and then you get orders 5 months later and you have to move quick, that's different. So I just wanna be really clear on that. Now, in a perfect world, okay, if I was dreaming my perfect way to use the VA entitlement, I would say purchase #1, a multi-unit. And look, it's a unicorn. They're really tough to find. But if you guys go online after this video and you type in where you are in the country and you look at multi-units and they're a couple $100,000, you're in a unicorn territory. So if you are, I would be saying, let's get you qualified for that first, okay? Now, very important, I cannot use rental income unless you have 6 months of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance in the bank and a property manager, okay? Odds are you will not have that. So we're gonna need to qualify for this multi-unit with your income. Now, if you're active duty, which I'm assuming you are for this video, I can use your BAH, we gross it up. I can use rations, we gross it up. And then of course we use your base pay, and if there's special pay, we'll see if we can use that. A lot of times we can. Okay, so we're gonna use all that pay. Now the next thing I get is, I don't know about my credit history. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's like 600, 620, I don't even blink. The only time I'm concerned is if you're under 600 and you have lates within the last year. That can be a problem, okay? But that's a problem you can overcome with some planning for the future. So, perfect world, your first purchase will be a multi-unit. And that's because then you can start cash flowing that property immediately. Now, as I covered, that is a unicorn situation. So what's more likely? What's more likely is your first purchase will be a single family home. Now, in a perfect world, you are in bases where housing is affordable, meaning, $175 to $350. If you're in an area like that, grab a house. Okay, and look, you're gonna wanna look for all the things that make it so other people will want to live there, because the goal is you're gonna live there while you're at that base, and then when you move, you PCS, you're gonna turn that property into a rental. You're gonna rent that out to military members. The reason you're gonna rent it out to military members is because they have to pay you. If they don't pay you, you can actually go to the military to make them pay you, for real. Okay, so you're gonna turn that house into a rental. We go to the next base and we do it again, okay? In a perfect world, you're gonna be at a couple bases where housing is affordable, and you'll be able to get 2, 3 houses with 0 down. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people go, oh, well, you can only have one VA loan. No, I can only have what the entitlement allows. So for instance, let's say your first house is in San Diego. Yeah, you can't go from San Diego to Hawaii with 0 down. That's not realistic because the cost of living there is so high, it's gonna eat up your eligibility, okay? But VA has bonus eligibility as well, but even still, like full disclosure, you go from San Diego to Hawaii, I hope you've got some money for that second house because you're gonna need it. But there's so many bases across the country where housing's affordable. And sometimes people don't buy because they just don't even know that they can. And that's the crazy part to me. So make sure, if you guys are watching this video, tell your friends. Every single military member should be taking advantage of this. And the reason is, I see what happens down the line. You know, I have veterans that I work with where they have 3, 4, 5 VA loans at the same time. No joke. Okay, you can do that. You just have to have enough eligibility. And sometimes what I'll see is as maybe the second or third house, as they start to tap out that eligibility, we're still doing VA, but we're doing it with much lower down payments and no mortgage insurance. That's right, because with VA, no matter how we use it, there's no mortgage insurance. Okay, very, very important. As a veteran, you should never be looking at conventional or FHA. Very rarely it would make sense. FHA never makes sense. Never. No. The only time it could make sense is if you need rental income to qualify on a multi-unit. Maybe. Okay. Conventional doesn't make sense versus VA. VA, you're going to get a lower rate, lower down payment, and no mortgage insurance. So the key is this. The key is every time you move, it is an opportunity to utilize your benefit and set yourself up for the future. Now, sometimes someone will say, well, Jen, you know, what if I can't rent it for how much I bought it for? That's an important question. So sometimes you'll be in a situation where you move to a new base, you rent this one out, but you're losing a couple $100 a month. So you're gonna wanna make sure you can afford that. Will you lose that amount of money forever? No, guys, rents keep on going up. Also, if you're buying houses under 400K, the odds are they will appreciate. You know, they have so much room to appreciate. So in certain parts of the country, it makes sense to buy a house and then sell it when you leave. You know, we've seen veterans where they've made $40,000, $50,000 in a couple years. Is that the norm? No. But does it happen? Yeah, it depends on where you are. So the key is this. Make sure when you guys are thinking about housing, you are seeing if you can utilize your benefit. Always see if you can utilize your benefit. Seriously, okay? And B, look, with us, we fully underwrite you, we fully pre-approve you. If you're looking at a VA purchase as a long-term plan and you're working with me and my team, which of course I'm gonna suggest, make sure you tell me, because we're going to be having a different conversation based on that, and what you're looking at is different than if you're just looking at a home for your family. So we really want to make sure we're on the same page with strategy for the long term, because I've seen how this pays off in the long term. I've seen people who are retiring from the military or leaving the military, and they've used their time in the military to stack up these houses, and they're now either getting income from them or they have a fat bank account because they've sold them along the way and they've accrued savings. There is a way, you know, while you're in the military to build a portfolio across the country. There are not many jobs where you get that opportunity. So I really want to make sure you guys are using it. If you have any questions, please get on the calendar. Sandy and Alyssa, we do this for free. You can ask us, and sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to ask. Guys, all questions are good. I literally pay those gals just to answer your questions, and they love it. They love it. So please get on the calendar. If you're ready to get pre-approved, let's get you pre-approved. Let's get on the phone. Let's get a game plan. Let's make sure when you leave the military, beyond looking back with pride from service, you're looking back with a nice real estate portfolio. So please reach out with questions and comments. Have you done this? If you have, make sure you're telling your friends, because that's what I'll see. I'll see a couple people where they told all their friends, and all those people have 3 to 4 properties. And then I see other stuff where they just were never in that group. So they're finding out about VA after they're out of the military. And you're like, whoa, there's so much you can do while you're in the military. So I will stop now, but yeah, please reach out, guys. I'm here to help you.